The 7th?
They didn't even give you a 3, 2, 1.
It did.
It did?
Yeah, you just got to pay attention.
Today is 4/7/18, April 7th, 2018. You know what I noticed? You know what next Friday is?
The 14th.
The 13th. Next Friday. Friday the 13th.
Shout out to MCJ.
I used to like Friday the 13th when I was a kid because they'd always play the Jason movies on cable.
So, what's your favorite Jason movie when he's fighting that boxer in Manhattan?
Dude, that was a good scene. That's classic. That's gotta be one of those. That's Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was your favorite Friday the 13th?
I didn't know they had one.
You didn't have one?
They all the same.
You like none of them, or you like them all?
I mean, I guess the first one.
The first one, the mom.
Well, the first one,
wasn't even him, right? It was the mom.
The mom, yeah. And the second one, he had like a sandbag on his head.
Yeah,
he didn't come out with the hockey mask to lay it on.
And then the third one, who was the third? The third one was.
Dude, we started analyzing all the different movies.
We gotta spend too much time on
all it was topless women,
getting
their heads chopped off by machete.
And then I think what was the last legit one? They made a Jason's Dead, right? Did they make a Jason?
Man, they made a Jason in space.
Jason Goes to Hell. That was the name. No, after they made the last one is when they brought Jason X when they
What's
tried
up,
to
D
bring him
Burner?
back. Then they just look at it.
What's up, Darren? Hope you're feeling better, my brother.
Where we got on there? Oh yeah. What's up, fellas?
And ladies. See, we got some ladies in here. We're in here.
But okay, out of all three of your series, if you had to make a pick, would you take Freddy, Jason, or Michael Myers?
Freddy Krueger, man.
You like Freddy?
But I'm not a big horror movie buff.
Yeah, I know.
But if you made me choose, I'd choose Freddy Krueger.
Who you got?
Freddy, probably. Freddy was cool.
Freddy was fun. He was a comedian. Like he can do stand up.
Yeah, Freddy was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
the Michael Myers. I don't know.
I don't think I watched the Michael Myers.
They trying to redo they got a guy that put out a trailer for. He's trying to get a deal on a Freddy show.
The Jason thing, the Friday 13th, it was too
many of them.
The camp. You know, they had camp and the monster at the camp. There was too much.
There's always they had at least one sex scene. They had to show
titties. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. White bitches with titties.
Yeah,
getting their heads chopped off.
Yeah,
can't run for shit. Always tripping on something.
But there would be no Freddy without Jason though, because he would, he kind of set the tone. Even at Halloween was around before Freddy, right? Yeah, it was like 79 when Halloween came out.
I think
the first one.
I think I read something not that long ago that they letting people go stay in Camp Crystal Lake for a night. It's like one of them experiences.
Yeah,
like
they are doing that. Now, my favorite, I think Halloween.
You go to Bayou for a better experience.
Yeah, you go down and down. Yeah,
the series and all, like as a whole, I think Halloween is the best one. I would take Freddy second and Jason third, but I do like a good. Freddy had some really good movies. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's take a second. We got some new sponsor this week.
You got?
That's right.
This is B&B.
B&B Artichokes and Breads.
What else?
Y'all can look them up on Facebook. B&B Artichokes and Breads. Look them up on Facebook. They deliver to most parishes. Original recipe in the parish for probably 25, 30 years, probably longer.
So check that out. B&B recipe if y'all want some real
artichokes, crawfish bread.
Cajun Louisiana food.
Fire artichokes stuffed to the gills. They're falling out.
Yeah. He can't hold up on it.
Wait, before we start today, I want to you shared an ad this week.
What I did.
We finished your EP.
Oh yeah.
Let's give you a little plug here while we're on here. Since you have a platform.
My bag? Huh?
No. So you just finished your record.
Right.
You need an air horn.
Right. We just finished it.
Make some noise.
And that's what I told you. That was the easy part. Now the hard part began. And it's really marketing and circulating and getting the graphics done. If you guys haven't seen it yet, y'all go ahead and go to the Higgnz page. You can go to my page. You'll see the White Blue Warrior commercial for the new EP Brackish. We'll be shooting a video soon. I got meetings this weekend. There's a lot of things being worked behind the scenes to really push this and put it out the right way. And I'm excited about it. You know, like he said, it's almost like he reinvented himself. You know, and I do feel that way, and that was the whole point in doing what I'm doing, because it's like, how can I create some longevity doing what I do, and the way the music is designed now, and especially what they say about hip hop, it's like, oh, you know, like it has an age limit. Once you reach a certain age, you know, you're old and you're washed up.
Treat you like an athlete, huh?
Right. But the thing is you get better with time, and a singer, a vocalist, scientifically doesn't reach their full potential until they're like 36, 37 with their vocal cords. You know what I'm saying? So
now, Scott. I'm sorry.
So
shout out to a man Scrub.
So but this is
Prince of
how terrible this is when you talk about mainstream music industry, period. When they say you reach a certain age because you got to appeal to the younger crowd, like people don't really, you know,
talk about vocally, like tone
just
wise,
across, just vocally, definitely. Yeah, what I meant first is vocally, but I'm talking about across the board. Like, how can somebody in their 20s really give you a full aspect of who they are as an artist when they haven't really lived yet?
But think about, you know, everybody's first album was their best one, it seems like. Well, maybe that's because that's what branded them, and as they got different,
right?
Well, I will change their thoughts, because that ain't what I remember. That,
well, dude,
you know,
what I will say, a lot of your challenging parts of your life,
like
emotionally,
I think
all through adolescence.
Right.
You go through a lot of your first during adolescence, so
I'm not a Lil Wayne fan. I like his older music more than his new stuff.
Right, but I think what that does, what you're saying is, yeah, you do go through a lot of emotions, so you do get a lot of, you know, highs and lows type of songs, but you're still not developed. You know what I'm saying? Like who you are. Like you're gonna get better content from an older person because you're getting a more experience, more value. Like I said, who are you going to take advice from? Are you going to take advice from the 16-year-old, 17, 18? Or are you going to take advice from the guy?
Depends on how old you are. You're going to take the advice of the guy you can relate with. So if you're a young person, you're going to take the advice of the young man. You're going to say, man, fuck what that old man saying.
Younger man,
right.
maybe.
And
you don't know about trap, and fuck that young man.
Exactly.
You know?
And while we speak in trap, and that's what I'm saying, like that's where like mainstream hip hop, that's where it's going. Like it's evolving around
but it's always been in that trap, like, but it was just called the dope game back in the day.
Well, it's the sound.
There was consequences. Now they trapping with no consequences.
Right.
That's not a good message.
But where I'm going to, if for me as an artist, like I can't do that, so I have to find how can I evolve? And what you heard is my evolution.
By taking on
different
styles.
Right. And like I feel like never better than before what I'm doing now, because like I listen to all genres of music, you know what I'm saying, and like my older stuff only fit one avenue, you know, and now I'm doing things that I can try to relate to and push, you know,
something for everybody on that 7-track EP. There's a little something for everybody.
Exactly. And
you
that's
touch politically, you touch emotionally, you touch the party track, you touch the countryside of it, you know, a little
collar
rock.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said,
but meanwhile, the consistency of the lyrics stood, and it didn't change with the song. You know,
right,
it was still.
It's a formula, like creating an album, creating EP, creating
building a house.
Right.
I compared to building a house.
And it's just a formula to me, and you just take what kind of different chemicals and and minerals are you going to mix and match to come up with your final product. And that's all it was really just a few changes in the formula. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it makes a big difference. But like, it wouldn't have sounded nowhere near as good without Daryl coming in, without you guys coming in to actually give y'all input. The engineer
was incredible.
Oh,
he was a wizard.
Shout out to Jonathan.
Right.
In the recess.
Absolutely. And the thing is like he said, our first session, he told us he was an award-winning engineer. You know, it's like, I don't know you. You know, I never heard of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, it could have been some gospel stuff. You know?
Right.
Those guys record so much.
Exactly. And you don't know, but after working with him, it's like, I believe, you proved it. Whether you were lying to me or not, you proved it.
Yeah, I would say, you hang around music.
Award winner. You're an award winner to me.
He was working.
You won our award.
He was working on boards like a master.
Oh,
he was
bro.
a wizard.
when he went in there.
It takes him 5 minutes to do something. It'd take me.
I'd still
2
be
hours.
working on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. It's definitely worth taking.
Like, where's this plug at that he
extra.
hears? I'd be searching for it for about 2 hours.
Right, and that's the formula.
And
so,
you notice the difference between somebody doing it at home and having
it's not
professional
even close.
Look, shade over here. It is though. Yeah,
Even
it is what it is.
What
Yeah,
he did for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And it's definitely a good gig, but we have an idea. We've got a system set up now. So in between time, we'll be working on our mixtapes just to keep some music circulating. But at EP, be looking for an EP twice a year. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. 6-9 months. That's what we look. A solid, mastered, professional EP.
Well, let's address my boy Scott's comment there. Production is production, no matter the genre. True, but the level to this guy's level was way beyond me, man.
Right.
I'll be the first one to admit it. Like, I couldn't have did what he did.
I mean,
and just by him being a musician, his musical input, I wouldn't have been there for that.
Well, with average people, like
this guy is really good though.
Like people who aren't in the business. I don't mean average people, but I mean like people who aren't like working in that industry or involved in that business do not understand like what goes on behind the scenes in making a project, and just the program itself, just with Studio One, Personas, how long it takes to master just the program. The way he ran in and out of those programs and just
that's what made me want to go and watch, because I use the same program.
Dude, and he moves so fast. I mean, it's
incredible.
It's
good.
Highly recommend it,
I'll
guys.
be back. That's all. I'll be back.
Yeah, if you're an artist that wants to step your quality game up, I don't care how good you think your Pro Tools quality is. This dude's gonna run circles around pretty much anybody.
There's a reason why he does what he does.
And his price is
worth the money too.
But I've been to major recording studios before, many a time. And it was always that engineer that don't
just
really
hit record.
say anything.
Yeah, he just hits record. And
no input. He said just to make a little money.
Right.
Oh, me and probably stopped caring 20 years ago.
Right, to maximize my potential.
Yeah. While he's laying vocals down, me and him are just chopping ideas of what to do on the mix.
Right.
Or certain tracks maybe missing a certain instrument or something.
And plus, he just might have really felt what you was doing too.
Right. Well, he did. I mean, and I don't think he was trying to,
because I'm sure he's worked with plenty of rappers, and just as well as I do, the average guy around here is talking about the same shit.
85% of the people that are going in
and
there.
I think, and you got to think about from his perspective, like a good artist is going to make his job easy. Vice versa, a good engineer is going to make the artist's job. They go hand in hand, and like he pretty much, after we recorded the first song, I think White Blue Warrior was the first song we recorded. He was just like, it pretty much said, "This is gonna be easy." You know what I'm saying? Like this is
easy money, yeah.
Right. So like, and we meshed well. Like it's definitely a good environment. It was well worth it, and we'll be back. You know what I'm saying? But
all right.
Let's forget about us. Let's talk about the news. May 12th, record release party at the Cuda.
We'll get more details later.
Bringing it back home. Gotta start there. Where that was the last place I did a show before I got out of it, and it's the first place I'm coming back to. So
we all gonna go from there, man.
That's it. We're gonna go up. It's a journey, and that's what's beautiful about it. It's the journey, and you don't know where you're gonna end up, but as long as you keep pushing forward, you're gonna end up. You're not gonna be at the starting point. You're gonna end up somewhere where you wasn't before, but you don't know unless you try.
It takes a lot of drive and a little luck.
Right. Yeah, well, probably a lot of luck with it.
Yeah. But if you don't have that drive, that luck ain't gonna fall in your direction.
Yep.
Well, they say luck is just when opportunity meets.
It's timing. It's like it's destiny or whatever.
Right.
Opportunity meets preparation.
That's why they kind of tell you don't.
What up, Ashton?
Don't pass on opportunities because you never know what's happening, Ashton. He's actually got the EP, so. He was definitely satisfied with the sound. Jay, like people are just, they're kind of taken back by how good it sounds. And I look, that's just I'm not saying nothing.
No. Look, I'm just as proud as you because I take as much credit on that as anybody.
I mean, it was teamwork. I couldn't have did that by myself. That's for sure. You know, and that's why it takes a handful of people to project.
Takes a village to raise a child.
Right. The face of the when you see somebody's face on a project, you don't realize the bodies that behind the scenes that really make it what it is. You know, it's the little extra additive.
And we ain't gonna patronize you either.
No, I don't need to be. You know, I don't.
Because that's the worst thing for somebody to patronize you when you know it's not up to par and they tell you, "Oh, it's great."
Yeah,
right.
That's the best ever.
No, especially when you invest in time and money into something. Like,
yes, man.
I'm not gonna bullshit you. Yeah,
right.
There's plenty of times I sat there. He probably looked at me to do it again. I knew he probably was like, "Man, fuck." Right?
Yeah, but that's it is what it is.
It was perfect timing when I walked in and addressed that Falcons issue though.
Oh yeah.
Y'all found out about that soon enough.
Yeah,
it worked. Hey, see, everybody had a reason for being
right.
there, and that might have been your one and only.
That symbol.
That's simple. That
was that an incredible symbol he played?
Oh yeah.
Incredible.
I've been checking my mail every day for that my publishing check.
I'd have got rocks thrown through my window one day. My whole house been burned down.
What is this guy talking about?
Well, speaking of burning buildings down, if this woman didn't, this YouTube killer, man. What?
So you don't go postal no more, right? You go YouTube, huh?
Right. Did y'all see any of her videos?
No.
The YouTube shooter. Did y'all watch any of her videos?
I didn't watch. I didn't. No.
So apparently,
is it real?
She was a they dropped her account.
Is it a false flag?
Did you read anything about it?
No, because because recently YouTube put out a message that they're gonna start censoring videos of conspiracies, which it's
right. Well, the article that first came out, they blamed it on the algorithms. Like YouTube changing their algorithms. That was what she was upset about because she lost followers and views because of it. Well, nobody really looked at her videos, and I was listening to Rogan and Brendan Schaub talk about how Brendan watched and talking about how horrible they are. Like, dude, she's got they just terrible videos. Of course you're not gonna. She got upset. They're saying that she got upset because she didn't get monetized. YouTube wouldn't monetize her, and she was upset about that.
Now explain.
This is a 30.
Explain what monetizing is.
That lived with her grandma.
Explain what monetizing is with YouTube for everybody. Me too, because I'm not 100% sure what all that stuff is. Well, how do you get demonetized from YouTube?
Well, she didn't get demonetized. I don't think she got monetized at all.
Well, they didn't pay it, right? She probably had enough views to where she got paid.
All right. So under my YouTube channel, if you go and you look through all the details and you go read about monetization, which you apply for monetization, and they won't right now where YouTube's at is that they won't even give you a look towards monetization until you provide them 10,000 views on your channel. You know what I'm saying? Then you get reviewed for monetization after 10,000 views. So
it's their decision whether they
right.
And what that means, they just put advertisements on your page.
Yeah, and then like the content, you're not gonna get paid for all your videos. Like the mixtapes that I put on there. Other people's tracks that we don't have copyrights to. You don't get paid for that. The one who's gonna get paid for that though is the guy who owns the copyright. So like we drop deep cover. You know what I'm saying? You know how
they took that shit right off.
Well, no, they upload it now.
Or they'll let you have it.
Dre get whoever owns the copy. That's a Death Row record. So whatever company LLC owns that copyright is gonna get paid for our song because it's their track.
Shout out to Suge Knight. I don't want to piss Suge Knight off.
You know what I'm saying?
He can go and get paid off.
So, but like
should have been dancing in videos.
Should have been dancing in the videos.
But like all the podcast videos. Fresh content, natural content, as long as we're not like playing somebody's music behind it that's not copyrighted, like we should get taken care of with ads after.
How much for the artichoke? My mom wants to know.
I believe $4 for the bread. I had to check for you.
Good Lord, that's a lot of money.
Oh, it's worth it. This ain't your regular artichoke. They stuck to the gills.
Your daddy's artichoke.
Yeah.
They still got the hearts in them.
Speaking of which, big weekend in sports. What's up with this UFC fight?
Well,
Oh man,
let's go. Let's
take the timeline through this UFC fight.
You're a UFC fan. What happened? Let's start from.
Right.
Can you? Let's take it back to chapter 1. What the fuck's going on?
Well, Khabib was supposed to fight what? Tony Ferguson, right?
Wait, what we talking about?
Well, we're gonna go through the whole
I don't
timeline
know.
here.
Somebody
We'll
tell
get to
me.
McGregor.
Okay. Well, first of all,
So he ties into all of this, right?
Well,
is he part of this?
Khabib
story?
and Tony Ferguson was supposed to fight. Ferguson was on his way to a press conference and was wearing sunglasses indoors, tripped over some cables, blew out his knee. Can't fight. The next guy, Max Holloway, which would be another great fight, and you gotta give him a shout out for his heart.
So he was gonna fight the
stepping
guy
in on
now.
6-day notice.
Huh?
Beast. Right.
Something happened that didn't work out. Maybe the weight, I don't know, something.
I think he
didn't
said he
work out.
couldn't
I think
cut
he
weight
missed weight.
in a matter
I
of
think
time.
he didn't cut weight.
It wouldn't have been healthy enough.
Right.
It wouldn't
He
have
would have
been.
been too dehydrated.
Yeah.
Right.
So that fell through. Then there was rumor of Anthony Pettis. That fell through. So now he's fighting this guy, Al Alquinda.
So
Who's not really, I don't think he's ready for
That's
him
the
yet.
white guy, right? That's
But, I mean, he's a good fighter. I don't think he's ready. He's not at that level yet. So that's that issue with the headliner. And people are asking for refunds. Dana White said he's losing money because of ticket returns because the headliner's not going down and people are returning their tickets.
So
now we step into the
chapter 2.
To the Conor McGregor issue. One of the dudes in McGregor's camp, Ludwig, Lobov.
He's a fighter.
Well, he was fighting. Yeah, he was supposed to fight tonight, but he got kicked off.
So McGregor has his own team now, like his own UFC.
Well, his little crew from over there where he's at.
Right, but they're professional fighters in his crew, right?
So McGregor and all of them are over there wherever he's from, Ireland, and a couple of Khabib's guys. There's been issues with those two camps for a while. So a couple of Khabib's guys told some shit to the Ludwig guy. He gets on the phone, calls McGregor. Him and 20 of his, as Dana White calls them, thugs.
Right.
Get on a plane, come down here to start some shit.
At the weigh-in or something.
Well, it's a bus
press
loaded.
conference. Yeah.
It was everybody that was fighting on the red corner. You know how you got the red and the blue team, you know, with the gloves and that's your corner.
Right.
So whoever was fighting on the red side was all in that bus. Everybody. So
Khabib included.
The what was it, Berkeley Center?
Yeah.
People let those guys in, and
So
they wasn't supposed to get in. Security,
right?
Yeah, they let them in, and I mean, they threw a barricade, they threw a dolly, they threw some garbage.
That's what I heard. The dolly went through to it. I saw Dana White's coverage of what he had to say.
Dude can't fight now because he's too cut up. I mean, how you gonna fight?
Right. It was just one fighter. I thought it was 3 fighters that they had.
There was one fighter, Michael Chasasi, and then one of the UFC workers broke a knuckle.
Well, they said somebody who had nothing to do with it got injured
broke
too.
a knuckle.
You know, and that's where Dana White was like, "Y'all say this is staged." I mean, they had people who.
Well, we'll get there.
I hope.
So what they did? They canceled the prelims. I heard, and they're just gonna have 5 fights on the regular card tonight.
I'm not sure.
That's
so how does that work?
Told me that last night.
I mean, is people getting their money back for this?
I think what the UFC should have done was pull this off of pay-per-view and just put it on Fox.
Put it on Fox. At least they'll get something.
Fox would have took it. It's too late.
Too late.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You could have went to Fox.
Could have streamed online
or something. Somebody would.
Yeah, I mean, better than the Pelicans Warriors game.
What happened? They
play tonight. They play tonight.
So where we at? The 8 seed? Huh?
No, we have 5.
Oh, in one night?
But
one
if we,
game?
that's how close everything is. So everything between 4 and 10 is like 3 games apart with 3 games left. But 5 and 9 are 1 game out. So if the Pelicans lose to the Warriors tonight, Denver wins. I think something else has to happen too. They could fall down tonight.
So who we got left?
We got Golden State tonight.
That's an L.
We got Golden State, the Clippers, and the Spurs. No more pansies.
In that 10-game stretch.
Well,
they're the 10th team. Spurs aren't the Spurs They're not your daddy's Spurs.
Right. But they a spoiler.
I see you. No, the Spurs are going to be in the playoffs. They're just not as good as they normally are. I see you repping tonight, man.
Yeah, I'm repping the Pels. I mean, I opted into the playoffs, so I gotta rep them. I gotta hope they get in so we can make some money off them tickets.
So what do you think the Conor McGregor shit was staged? I seen you had a post saying, "What if you think he did this to go to Bellator?"
Maybe he's going to Bellator.
So
Dana would throw him out of the UFC.
From on a scale of UFC as opposed to Bellator, like how how much bigger is UFC than Bellator?
Money wise, big.
Is it like WWF and WCW was?
I mean, like killers in Bellator, just like UFC.
Right. They have fighters. Is it like NFL as opposed to Canadian football?
Probably not that big of a difference.
It's too much. It's SEC versus ACC maybe.
You know what I think Bellator has?
So there's people who
talent levels there, but not as an overall roster.
Well, I think Bellator tries to
have guys who can compete in the UFC for
whereas
sure.
It's like Clemson has some good players, but you know
what I would compare it to?
Team.
Right.
It's kind of like that.
Bellator seems to pick up a lot of guys that did really good in UFC, but kind of got too old for it, and then they went on to Bellator.
And they can go win the title in Bellator.
I don't know about the title, but they'll get a lot of promotion. Like Chael Sonnen, he fights in Bellator now, but he used to fight Anderson Silva in the UFC.
Right.
And get big money, talk a lot of shit. But when he kept losing, he had to go somewhere, but he still had the name.
It's like the senior tour.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Probably where John Jones is going to end up.
But Chuck Liddell said he would come back to fight.
Yeah, how old is that dude? He's got to be
Chuck's in his
40s.
Early 40s or something, maybe.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I saw, Joey Diaz and them were talking about.
He said he would come back to fight either Tito or Chael Sonnen. I thought him to beat either one of them's ass.
I can't see McGregor going to Bellator. McGregor got that $100 million check.
So big.
I can't see him fighting for anything less than $20 million.
Yeah, UFC handcuffs their fighters with that Reebok deal, so they're not allowed to have any kind of sponsors. He can go to Bellator and he can make $100 million off of sponsors alone.
Right, and because he's still the biggest thing in UFC, right?
I think he's a fraud, to be honest, bro.
Well, why? What, you don't think he's that good of a fighter, fraud, or what do you mean by fraud? When you say fraud,
paper champ?
I mean, I give it to him. He's a bad motherfucker. But the Aldo fight, even Pacquiao walked into a punch. Okay, he got lucky. He dropped the dude 13 seconds. We really can't judge that off of that. It was an early knockout. Aldo walked into a shot. All right, so you can't really. Alvarez, he beat the fuck out of Eddie Alvarez. But the fights with Nate Diaz, they gave him that second one.
Yeah, I watched that second fight.
It could have went either way.
I didn't see the first one.
So what about? All right. So what do you think? I already asked you. So what do you think about his bout against Mayweather? You think that was?
Mayweather handled him just like he was gonna handle him.
just played. He was all played out to where he was gonna let McGregor wear himself out, and then he just hit him enough to win. To win.
I'm weighing my food, y'all.
But there was plenty of fights. Like McGregor hates Khabib so much, you could have signed a fucking contract.
To fight.
You decided to say, I'm not fighting. I made all this $100 million. I ain't fighting.
Right.
And he still has a belt. But you go ahead and strip these other guys that can't fight because
that's the one yeah. They strip
him of their belts. But you don't strip Conor his belt, and he's just saying, I ain't fighting.
Yeah.
I ain't fighting.
Yeah, he still got his belt because right.
But he's stripping guys of their belts because of injuries.
That he caused.
No, this was other things.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's politics, bro.
Yeah.
It's politics. Because they know if he needs the money, he let this shit die down and Conor will be fighting UFC.
If it's all staged, man, this is some WWF shit, man. I think I'm done with him.
It's gonna lose a lot, right?
Like I don't pay now for that shit.
But how would you find? I mean, is that gonna come out? Who would tell the truth? There was a lot. If that was staged, there's a lot of entities involved that know it was staged. You know what I'm saying?
We'll see when the lawsuits come out if they're really real. He went to jail.
Right. I saw. I watched
bond. You can look it up online. I'm sure.
I watched a little bit.
It would be in. Where's that? Berkeley
Brooklyn. That's in LA. I think. Oh no, that's right.
So if you go to Brooklyn's arrest records, he should be in it.
Should be in there.
Yeah, he was in. He had a court hearing today. I watched.
All
the
that
court
shit's so
hearing.
easy
It's
to
on
ring.
YouTube. I mean, it was a court hearing full of people in the courthouse. You know.
Yeah,
That's
you never
fine.
know.
I mean, big show.
I mean, unless they're trying to attract these people that, because you know how many people. Oh, Ronda Rousey, where they at now? And that's just a regular UFC fight.
Ronda Rousey's
Ronda
a
Rousey.
Rousey's a
If
wrestler
Ronda Rousey
now,
was
huh?
fighting, you'd see all these people on Facebook talking about Team Rousey, blah, blah.
Right.
If she ain't fighting, then it's crickets from her. You couldn't even name 5 other fighters in the UFC, but they know Rousey.
Right.
So
Yeah,
is
man,
that
I'm
the
not
people
big-
they trying to attract? These short-term fans that are not going to buy pay-per-views.
No.
They're not going to buy your fight pass. They're not going to buy your
Right.
merchandise.
Right. Like I don't.
They're just riding the popularity train.
I'm not a.
I've been
I'll
watching
watch
this
it.
shit since '94. I mean,
Right.
the
I'll
MMA
watch
fans
it.
can be MMA fans. You're not gonna,
Shout out to Denver, man. For the first UFC was in Denver.
yeah.
We're going to Denver. I want.
Boy, it's
I
crazy.
want a picture
You're
of the
going
blue,
to that
I
evil
want the
airport.
blue Bronco. I want the picture of the
That's
airport.
that evil airport.
Yeah, he wants a
I
whole
want
film.
the whole. I want the scroll. Of
That's the only reason why I have
Delaware.
hair going into that trip.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
'Cause I
No,
want
that's
the
a bet.
airport.
No, I'm
Oh,
see.
he's
Matter of fact, we're trying to get. I don't know if he's in here now. I see he was in here earlier. I'm gonna text Eddie tonight, see if he wants to come on May.
No,
Fifth
I'm
or-
cutting that shit.
Oh,
No,
Eddie can
bullshit.
supervise, though.
Yeah.
Eddie can
No,
supervise.
we're not
I got
fake
clippers.
nothing.
we can do it right now.
That's it. Yeah, we can go now.
That's no guard. That's what you're going
That's it, right
no
there.
guard.
That's what we go.
Oh no,
Yep. We'll polish it for you when we done.
we're wearing all these other.
Where you going? You going? I'll go when you go.
I go when you go.
When you
go,
come
I
back.
go.
When you
What's
come
up,
back.
gangsters? Jerry
So-
Ruiz said, "What's up, gangsters?
What's happening?
What's that 50 Cent song?
What
What up, Bloods?
What up, Cud?
What up, Cuz?
All right, so wait, I'm on to the next one.
We're on to the NBA Jam. You just
Is that
scrolling
the
away.
best
bro.
basketball game of all time or what?
NBA Jam?
Oh, dude.
Watch right.
The NBA 2K series is getting better every year.
Man, that stuff, it's just so hard to keep up. It's like you run a franchise.
Great.
Oh,
N-
did y'all
NBA.
see? Did you see this Project Who Dat? They actually commented on this yesterday.
I didn't see it.
All right, so these guys brought
Nobody else could see it
Who
either.
Dat fans.
You guys get to hear it.
So basically,
watch it.
what they did was they brought the approaching. They brought a balloon into space. Watch, you'll see.
I know what I'm trying. I know
So the
people
Earth
watching this
does
right
the
now.
Earth look flat to you or what?
Yeah?
Looks flat. So it's a flat Earth.
It's just a flat piece of paper.
No, the Earth. Look, you see the. So they brought up Who Dat fans.
So what they do? They got a
They the
satellite?
first NFL football fans to actually blow a balloon into space. You know, Drew the Holmes Dome. You saw it? The Project Who Dat? You got one from it?
No.
Oh, appreciate you.
Top already just got popular.
So then they popped the balloon and let it fall.
All right.
All right,
Everybody can see that?
No, they can't see that. But the Saints fans are the first.
Why is that Romo on it?
That's not Romo. Saints fans are the first fans to actually send their team into space, bro.
All right.
That's a big deal.
I've been
It
in
is.
space many times at the Dome. What the fuck they talking about?
That's
That's a whole other podcast.
yeah, that's different. Oh, did y'all see that? Speaking while we on football, this updated quarterback ranking list
Yeah.
that I'm getting
Poppycock.
getting a lot of comments about it.
Your boy, I told you, your boy coming already and said Drew Brees was number 10. He's high on that one. He's number 8 on that one.
So
Carson Wentz had one good year.
right, he's not proven yet.
Russell
I mean,
Wilson, what is he now? He ain't really doing dick.
Well, we're going to find out how
here's the deal:
he thinks Jimmy Graham's going to be better with Aaron
listen.
Rodgers than he was with Russell Wilson.
Carson Wentz is on this list, but where's the guy that won the ring? Where's Nick Foles?
He ain't on the list.
Why not? He won the damn
Where's
Super
Colin
Bowl.
Kaepernick?
He's a backup.
Colin Kaepernick. He's probably
He's in
better.
town this week.
He's a better
You see,
quarterback.
he did a joke on everybody, huh? They showed him in a 49ers uniform as a quarterback picture, and he tweeted, "I'm in town in New Orleans. Something I have arrived in New Orleans, but he's here for WrestleMania.
Thinking that he's going to sit.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You think he might be wrestling?
I'd take him. Take him in. Would you take him?
You have a lot more room in the dome to sit. But you don't have tickets no more.
Dude, people ain't gonna fucking ball.
I'm tired of playing that game.
That's the media playing that shit, bro.
Nah, I'm telling you, there's some bitter ass white folks that are not gonna go to the game this time, Kaepernick.
Well, if Breeze goes down,
just as many black people in the dome as white though.
Right.
Well,
if Breeze goes down, who's taking? Who's the backup right now?
Who we signed? Macho Man, Tom Savage.
Would you rather Would you want
Tom
Savage or Colin
Kaepernick?
Kaepernick?
To Taysom Hill.
He's the gunner, right?
Yeah,
He's the gunner.
He's special teams killer.
Third string quarterback.
The gunner, right?
Be a third string.
The gunner.
But honestly, who would you rather Cap or Tom Savage just behind center?
I'd take Colin Kaepernick over Tom Savage.
At any day.
I wish they'd have signed AJ McCarron.
A hungry Colin Kaepernick will get you in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly.
Losing viewers.
And I guarantee these fucking Saints fans will be cheering their ass off.
That's how the Kaepernick haters, bro. See, it's over. You lost him already.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck, man. It is what it is, bro. So what? Anyway.
Mr. Trubisky.
Do you think Russell Wilson is the number 2 quarterback in the NFL?
But Scrub said Hill's gonna be good. I got faith in Hill, bro.
I mean, I don't know what he can do with his arm. I know what he can do with his legs.
He's got the heart, though.
Oh, absolutely.
He's down there on the punt block team and all that shit.
He was happy he got to walk in between the lines.
He's like our modern day Guido Merkins. Remember Guido Merkins?
What?
He played
punter.
But
I can just imagine.
He played punter, quarterback, long snapper.
Oh, the guy for he was a Raider.
Merkins.
He was Oakland Raider, right?
He started as a Saint, though.
We got
Guido Merkins?
He's a Pro Bowl punter. Yeah, he went to the Pro Bowl.
The football utility hitter.
No, I don't think he was ever that good. He was just like
I'm serious. I think
he was like a swing man in basketball. He played a few different positions.
Right. Well, so, all right. Who the hell is Patrick Mahomes? A quarterback that's never taken a snap.
He's that rookie from Kansas City.
He's the one Sean Payton wanted.
Right. He's number 17 on this list.
Like Texas Tech, Texas A&M or something.
Oh, who did he play? Texas Tech, I think.
Texas Tech.
How does that do?
You see, but I don't think. Well, it's hard. You can't say that now because some of those system guys are actually playing good.
Yeah, but how is that dude 17 on the list, bro?
Why are you hating, man?
Take a snap.
Who made the list?
Yeah, it's just somebody made the list. Somebody's opinion.
I know, but fuck, we about the FF Nation is the name.
That's fantasy football.
Yeah, that might be.
They worry about fans. That's some nerds that they never played a down of football in their life.
So I can understand Aaron Rodgers being number 1 right now. I'll agree. You know, like I'm not upset.
When Alex Smith went to Washington,
they just traded him.
So
Mahomes could
start. Like, dude, as soon as the season, that was the first move.
I didn't even keep
Alex Smith went to Washington.
Andrew Luck, he's 9. Yeah, that list is bullshit. Luck garbage. You don't know what he's fell out his ass. His horseshoe fell out his ass.
I hope he does good this year. He had a really good year when he first started. I think injury bug just like that last year before he got hurt, he had no offensive line, and that's what killed him. I think he's a good quarterback.
So, we'll see.
Jared Goff, I think to me,
I like Stafford's heart, bro. Like you can't take his heart away from that Stafford.
Oh, he is tough, bro.
He's a tough dude.
He's a good
bro.
dude. Yeah.
What has Aaron Rodgers won lately?
Aaron Rodgers,
he even lost his old lady. But he's dating Danica Patrick now. He won Danica Patrick.
We could say the same thing about Breeze. Other than this year, what did he win lately? Aaron Rodgers went to the playoffs the last couple seasons before he got hurt. You know,
he won Danica Patrick.
Yeah, that's a win-win right
That's
there.
a win right there.
That's a trophy.
That's a dub.
That's a damn trophy. Yeah. Deshaun Watson, would you make him? You think he's the 5th best quarterback in the league?
I don't know.
All right. Let's put this in fantasy perspective. Would you think he's the 5th best fantasy quarterback? Deshaun Watson.
I know we in it's April 7th. Football don't start till August.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to be the rookie of the year.
He did it. He would have been the rookie of the year if he didn't get hurt.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to fantasy numbers, if the Saints keep the same system that they had last year, which they probably will with the running game, I can see Breeze easily being 8.
Breeze ain't one either. So about WrestleMania, right?
Well,
WrestleMania is this weekend, right?
That's what you shushing me on to talk about.
WrestleMania.
I actually started watching wrestling a little bit more now.
Oh, you watch that?
Well, because of my son. I mean, he's.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be.
But it comes on right before Unsolved.
You know, Vegas takes odds, and you can place bets on WrestleMania.
I can see.
Yeah, but I think the people like
you don't know. Yeah, but you don't know.
Yeah, but you don't know.
But people do know.
That opens up the door to me to saying, "Hey, is football rigged?"
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think Vegas got a good nod on that. I mean,
if that's the case, you want to go there. Does that open up the door to say that it was DeMarcus Williams?
You can bet on politics, man.
Told to stop, drop, and roll on that play with 10 seconds left when he knew all he had to do was make a tackle.
Dude, you can bet on politics. You know that shit's rigged. You can bet on who wins the president. You know that shit's rigged.
Yeah.
So I mean, anyway. A lot of. So what you like about wrestling? Who's your favorite wrestler? All time. Who's your favorite wrestler?
Junkyard Dog.
Junkyard Dog.
Just because we could see him every weekend at the St. Bernard Culture Center.
For me, I mean, I was an '80s kid.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka
was like,
that's the one that's got the homicide.
Was the superhero of. He was my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Killed somebody in New York. Huh?
Yeah.
But dude, do y'all remember when we were kids and wrestling came like Hulk Hogan? He never wrestled on Monday night. You know what I'm saying?
What else
like Monday night wrestling.
Well, he was the headliner.
Right.
Headliner ain't got to wrestle.
You never seen him wrestle until pay-per-view. Like, he would never wrestle.
But that's why he bought the pay-per-view.
No.
You sure?
No.
I think when he was in WWF he did, but not when he was in
not during my era.
NWO.
I watched wrestling.
I quit watching
in the late '80s, early '90s. Like, I was.
They had pay-per-views back then with wrestling.
Yeah, WrestleMania's been around since the early '80s.
Well, I know the WrestleMania has, but I didn't know they were all pay-per-view back then.
I don't know if they were all pay-per-view.
They got the wrestling fans that got every hotel room booked in the city, dude. They spending money.
Oh, they flying from. I went to the last one.
I'm sure you go hang out in the quarter.
They had people in town from Europe, like all kinds of people from Europe and Asia coming down here just to watch WrestleMania.
It's big.
So when does WrestleMania happen? Once a year, or is it?
Yeah,
it's like the Super Bowl.
It's like that Super Bowl. Yeah,
it's here often, huh?
I have to say, the Nature Boy is my favorite wrestler.
Ric Flair. Oh, I like Ric Flair now more.
The kiss stealing.
I didn't like him back
Diamond
then.
ring wearing.
Because he was the villain back then.
I quit watching after but I was like into the Kamala and the Great Kabuki and shit.
Yeah, well,
because Mid-South would come down here to the Civic Center and we could see these guys. Divine Eric, she with the fucking 2x4.
Well, they got,
we could see these guys. Used to pack that building.
They got some dudes down there in the parish that they do to Joe Davies.
I know.
They go wrestle.
Man, they hit one at Kenilworth.
Yeah, Kenilworth did one too. Yeah, I never been to them, but I seen people film them and put them on.
Some of it and show
do they get on the mic and talk shit too?
North Cutnam used to do that. Big Dean Uplinger, they used to all wrestle.
Yeah,
dude. I'm gonna tell you what, that shit might be fake, but them dudes get. You ever see the wrestling? You ever see the movie with Mickey Rourke?
Let me slam. Just drop yourself on that turf and see.
See what happens. Huh?
Just watch that Jake the Snake documentary.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
they
yet.
Get broken bones. I mean, them dudes get hurt.
I saw Jim Duggan.
I watched that Roxanne Shante movie.
That was good, bro. She had a rough life.
Yeah. Well,
the real
a lot of people had rough life out there.
Yeah, but what that dude did,
right there. Well, you talking? I'm talking at the beginning when she's like, I ain't got nowhere to go. You can have it.
There's people that never made a name for themselves until they made a Roxanne diss, and that's how they become famous.
I forgot about that. How many people just came out and dissed her after that? Like how many chicks?
Dude, she was
a
grown ass man in a battle rap and making thousands of dollars as a 14-year-old.
Check this out. All right, so this was the headline. These actresses have been linked to alleged sex cult.
Me too.
So, ever since the alleged cult leader, Keith Raniere, was arrested in Mexico last week, I never heard anything about this. You notice it hadn't made mainstream news, really. It hadn't blown up.
This podcast has ADD, huh?
Yeah, you ever watch that podcast? We
go
go wrestling to sexual
segues.
That's what we do. Speculation is
circulated.
That's how my mind works, so it works good for me.
Speculation has circulated about when Smallville actress, remember Smallville, old Superman, like when Superman was a kid, Smallville. All right, actress Allison Mack will be arrested for her role. PJ? Can you let me fucking talk?
I was trying to read, bro.
My bad. Yeah.
People are waiting for me to say this shit, and you cut me off because you don't give a fuck. Also be arrested for her role in allegedly recruiting women who were branded, blackmailed, near-starved, and treated as personal slaves. Rainier is the founder of Nixivim, NXIVM, a many-limbed organization that once claimed to be a philosophical movement, but which primarily sold expensive 5-day self-help courses to aspiring millionaires. This is and these people have like an underground cult behind the scenes. A 2016 offshoot pitched as a badass bitch boot camp is now being called an organized criminal group by the FBI. About former members went public about abuse. So this goes into this Hollywood, like these people in Hollywood are just into some fucking, they having some fun with some.
You never see them you ever hear them stories about them actresses and shit, like treating their fucking handlers like shit? Like throwing shit at them and slapping them in the face.
Roman Polanski.
Yeah.
Look and discover any further. Roman Polanski. That proves it.
Well, what gets me, what I'm seeing out of this is like, when you think about Hollywood doing it, you think it's just this one big thing that they're doing together. Well, what this is like cliques. You know what I'm saying? These people act like they have their own Hollywood little cliques, but they all kind of get down into similar shit. You know, it's like little fucking secret societies.
Look up the numbers. Look up the numbers on
what you got.
Child trafficking and kidnappings as opposed to kids dying in school shootings.
It's
off the charts.
Fucking out. It's
child abductions or child trafficking versus school shooting.
You can't even compare. You can't compare.
Child trafficking statistics. Let's see. In the United States, we're just gonna go in the United States. Estimated that 1 in 6 endangered runaways reported them were likely sex trafficking.
4.5 million
globally. 4.5 million kids globally are taken
in the sex. All right, so what's the other one? Sex.
It's opposed to school shooting. School shooting.
20-something years.
It's not even.
Oh, it's not even close. Right?
It's don't scratch the surface. But why is media not covering that shit?
Right, because it's fucking people in.
It's not a divisive subject.
Well,
everybody on all sides of the aisle can agree to child trafficking.
What he's saying is it's some eyes wide shut shit. That's kind of
No, the reason the media doesn't talk about it because everybody can agree on it. But you go school shootings, and then we gotta find a reason why it happened.
You take 100 people.
No, that's not why.
You gather 100 people, right? Just grab 100 people. One person out that 100 is gonna be fucking crazy. So you figure out of a billion people we got on this fucking in this country. We're going to have a lot of crazy motherfuckers. And the amount of school shootings we have, I'm surprised it ain't more crazy motherfuckers we got in this country.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying?
And then being
on large scale, this trafficking thing is the thing we need to worry about and focus on more than these school shootings.
Well, this is the only politician who was ever that I actually give a salute to and agree with I don't know, a majority of his beliefs is Jesse Ventura. And what he said was exactly so. He said, look, the war on drugs needs to end, period. It's a losing battle.
Pockets, bro.
It's line and he admitted all of this. It's all right. It's all written. Proof's in the pudding. Follow the money, you'll see it. But what he said,
that goes as far down in this parish. This parish gets money for DWI arrests and drug arrests.
Right.
That's how they get supplied with
money
their
for
gear.
every inmate.
That's how they get cars and all that shit.
So check this out. So the DEA, right? The DEA don't want the war on drugs to end. Why? Because they're going to be out of a job.
If you ain't had all these shareholders invested in private prisons,
Right.
We have no need for it.
Well, but
listen
to this, proposal. Instead of going with the firing the DA, just getting rid of it, change it and have these guys focus on child protection, to investigate child trafficking, child molestation. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it goes too high up, I think.
But think about it. These guys don't have to worry about losing a job. And
the whole Sandusky thing, like this dude was like harboring kids so they could be put out on the market.
And that
he's telling all his friends like these are
that shit's scary.
So and they off probation already. Everything's all hunky dory. Nah, fuck Penn State. They'll be rape state to me but fuck Penn State.
Oh.
Fuck Penn State.
Well, look what it did to.
They already served all their sanctions and shit. I'm like, come on, these motherfuckers was.
What's his name?
SMU. All they did was pay Eric Dickerson some money, and they were fucking on probation for like.
They got blackballed for
right. And what about Penn? What's the guy's name? What's the coach?
The poor coach died, but
right.
So
what's his name? I can't.
The movie Joe Paterno is about to come out.
De Niro's playing Paterno.
No, Al Pacino.
Yeah, that's right.
Pacino's playing. Oh, they're making a movie about it?
It comes out next week.
Yeah. And supposedly they're going to touch on that.
Oh, the Andre the Giant documentary comes out this week.
Yeah,
wow, that's going to be cool. That's one of my favorite. He was a good guy. I like Andre.
But that whole Sandusky thing goes higher up into politics too.
Oh, absolutely.
They have already linked it into that.
But Paterno knew about it.
He hushed it.
And he killed his ass. When he killed 6 months after he quit, he retired.
They said right when he found out, supposedly went to the doctor, they told me he had cancer, terminal.
Oh,
he
that
died
shit was weighing on him.
Died like that. And he's old. I mean, you could make that excuse. I mean, you can't say they killed him.
I'm saying it killed him.
Oh, I think you said they killed him.
I'm saying it killed his.
Oh yeah.
The stress, even if he did have cancer, it just escalated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He knew about it. Like he knew what was going on. You know,
if somebody I know, I don't care how much money he's got, he come to me like, hey man, I got these kids who running.
Well, I don't think he told him that. I just think he called it.
Like supposedly, fuck you.
Supposedly there was another coach that saw Sandusky in the shower with a kid.
No, it was the maintenance dude.
Was it the maintenance dude?
Yeah, it was the maintenance guy.
Let me tell you, I read some of the actual police report. Like they put it out. You can find it and Google it, and it's like it's gross, bro. Like it's visually disgusting because it's described.
It's disturbing, right? These motherfuckers taking advantage of these fucking kids, dude.
Dude, just like the way they described it, like he heard the pounding and you know what I'm saying? Like dog, like that's written in this fucking script. Like that's crazy, bro. I mean, think about being a janitor, and walking and just fucking.
I'd have took that broom and some fucking American Meat type shit would have went down. You know what I mean? Like, nah, fuck you. What are you doing? No, fuck you, man. Not on my watch.
Nope. And these poor kids, like, it's, like they scared. They didn't say anything because, like,
they don't have any power. That's why they
like
say
him. Like Sandusky is like a powerful guy in the football world. So like when he takes these kids under his wing, these parents are glorified. They glorify this man. Yeah, he looks like a hero. He's like
Penn State.
This is my kid's way out. You know what I mean?
Where they're located in Happy Valley, that's like the only thing that town has. It's a college. It's the prototypical college town. Yeah. It's the only thing that they have. The football team is the only thing they have support.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Not like way bigger than Ruston.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like Ruston on steroids. So.
Right. Well, look how big it is. I mean, Penn State's as big as any SEC school. I'm just talking about the actual school itself, not the football team.
So
I'm just talking about the town itself. That's all they have. It's like you see Friday Night Lights with the high school football and how the town treats them.
Right.
That's the college version of it.
Right.
At Penn State. So they sweep all that shit under the rug. Like, you notice the local cops. I bet a lot of them local cops down there knew what was going on, but they just swept that shit under the rug.
If it's that small, I mean, if it's neighborhood.
It wasn't until outside influences came in and said something about it.
A lot of these kids got older too. You know what I'm saying? And then once they became old enough to where you know, it's just like this shit with the fucking the Hollywood guy mogul. What the fuck's his name? The dude Weinstein. Like all it took is for one person to have the guts to come. All it took was for one person to have the guts to come out and say something, and then it's like it opens up the door. So you know, I see something, speak up. You know,
I gotta go to a baseball game, fellas. Y'all want to keep going?
Mm-hmm. I guess. What you got? 602. Yeah. We ain't even get into the Drake bounce song.
Well, that's all right. Y'all can get into it. I trust y'all. You'll be able to hold it down.
Yeah. Well, hold tight. Let me go pee.
All right.
Wait till I finish peeing. That way he's got company.
Well, when you mention the Drake bounce song, what I'll do is we'll talk about Anthony Joshua's last fight.
Oh, that bump fight?
Yeah. What did you think? That's the first time I really watched him because I really don't get into the heavyweights because a lot of them fight in Europe.
And last Saturday, Klitschko. So that tells you how good Klitschko has been a bum forever.
And he was just washing people because the division sucked.
Wilder's not all that.
Wilder's
talking about
Wilder can't box.
I'll beat Mike Tyson in his prime. Bitch, you would have had trouble. Lennox Lewis would whoop your ass.
So I never seen Tyson Fury fight.
You're worrying about Mike Tyson in his prime.
Well, it seems like the excitement about the heavyweight division is because they have a few undefeated fighters now. Well, they got two.
Because they fight bumps.
That's what I'm saying. So that's going to project a big pay-per-view payday between Joshua and Wilder. But Joshua said they're only fighting it on in Europe. So it'd be a midday pay-per-view at best. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd be interested. I watched them both fight in the last month.
I'd watch it just because of what it is.
I would think Wilder would win the fight.
Just because what's on the line would unify every belt out there.
Yeah. But I don't know if there's another heavyweight to... You mentioned Tyson Fury to me on the
Tyson Fury, bro.
He beat
he's a gypsy.
Didn't he beat Klitschko?
He's a gypsy that's way overweight. But if he gets his shit together, Tyson Fury gonna fuck some people up, bro.
So he's like a foreman. He's like a new age George Foreman.
Big, and he's a gypsy. Like that's how he lives his life, like a gypsy.
So he smokes a lot of weed. What he gets in trouble for?
No, that's not what gypsies do. Gypsies are like traveling people. He was doing.
Yeah, but he failed the drug test. Didn't he fail a drug test or something? That's why he lost his. Didn't he win the title and then lose a fail a drug test?
I'm not sure.
I thought he beat Klitschko or somebody and then failed the drug test and then had to give up the title. I think that's why Klitschko had to fight Joshua.
I didn't know. I don't know. I don't know too much about him up until recently.
You seen Pacquiao's fighting again? He's fighting Matisse.
He needs to stop.
I think Matisse gonna whoop his ass.
He should stop while he's ahead.
If he beats Matisse, though, I
have a Filipino, and I don't want to see him fight no more.
I used to like Manny Pacquiao, man. I think. You think that Marquez hit did him in?
Fucking right.
Whew.
Fuck yeah. Broke did some damage with that shot, dude. He walked right into that motherfucker.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
That was a solid shot. Before you go, let me take.
Yeah, okay. And I could talk to him about.
You're just gonna change the subject again.
Oh yeah, because you don't know shit about boxing.
I know a little something.
All right.
I know Mike Tyson.
About Riddick Bowe's next fight, man. What you think?
What's it coming on? ESPN Classic.
ESPN Classic, right?
Well, what we getting into? Your what you had on your list, bro? Did you even touch base on your list?
Well, we talked about. Let me ask you this before I go. Ask him when he comes back.
This is a serious question here.
It's a music question. I asked on Facebook. It seemed to get a little play, so I'm gonna ask you. 3 artists. Actually, I stole it from Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins tweeted it. 3 artists you'd like to see live, dead or alive. That'd be on your bucket list. Well, so I got a lot of different answers. But go ahead.
I mean, dude, 3.
It's a lot that you have to talk it out.
I guess I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go with one from every genre to try to spread the love out a little bit. So I'll go. Rap, rock, and country. I'm gonna give you one of each.
All right. You know you're gonna forget somebody when you do this.
Well, yeah, because it's like, dude. I mean, it's what rap. I mean, let's go Tupac. Like,
I watched him perform live, and I wasn't impressed. So I don't think he would be mine.
Who
so if I go rap, Nas, and Nas an Outkast. be the two rappers.
I mean, just because, like, what if Pac was up there? All right, let's say Pac was up there by himself without all them hype men, and he actually.
But even people I know that seen him said that's how his show always was.
Just him.
But it might have grew over the years.
You just don't know, a lot of people. We don't know where it went.
But if I'm judging by what I saw, then I wouldn't want to see that.
Like I think after he passed, like early millennium, people actually, like, artists were being called out for doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just going up there with a bunch of hype men and howling and screaming, but it took his spot.
Shout out to No Limit.
I'm gonna so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep it that way just because I want. I mean, shit, that's a thing I always wanted to see. You know, like, you want to meet Pac. You know, so I'm gonna go Pac. All right, my rock list. That's a tough one, bro.
Like rock, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, like there's subgenres, there's subcultures. Dead or alive, rock. I'm looking for that voice.
Black Sabbath? In their prime? Ozzy Sabbath, though, not Dio. Huh?
Dio Sabbath.
Dio wasn't bad, though.
Ronnie James takes a man to fill Ozzy's shoes.
Dio was all right.
His sound, but that's because they're two different people.
Yeah, Dio was all right, but you gotta go see Ozzy Sabbath.
That little man had a powerful voice, though, at Ronnie James. Dio.
What you did? You did Snowblind? What remix you pulled? Snowblind? No, not Sweet Leaf. Yeah. One drug song.
I'm gonna
One drug song that Sabbath had.
You know what? I'm gonna get y'all. I'm gonna go Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton's a good choice.
He's like, blues, you know. He's still got a rock.
I would rather see like
solo with Eagles. What?
I'm gonna go Eric Clapton solo, and the Eagles show up too. They show up. They do a couple.
Wait a minute, Eric Clapton won the
Eagles. No, it wasn't the Eagles. It was you motherfucker.
It's like wait.
Yeah,
that's what you're talking about.
No, not the Eagles. Who was he with? It was Eric Clapton and what was it?
I was gonna say Phil Collins, but not with Genesis.
Y'all know what I was about to say.
I go see Jimi Hendrix maybe.
Prince would be on my list. Hold up. We gonna find out, bro. That's fucked up. He made me look.
Big Daddy Kane beef with LL Cool J.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Best beef ever was LL and Cannabis.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
so hard.
LL and Cannabis was a beef.
He let Cannabis come in one of his videos and have a verse on the track. That's how bad he beat him.
Well, you know the story about that, huh?
And then he brought him back up.
You know what the story behind that was, huh? He got Cannabis's verse. LL had a verse already written to it, and then Cannabis rapped that verse about his mic on his arm, and he was pissed. So he went and wrote another verse to shit on Cannabis. And then after that, he shit on him again, and then Cannabis dropped second round knockout with Tyson in the video.
Yeah, it still ain't better than Mama Said Knock You Out.
Well, Mama Said Knock You Out wasn't the Cannabis disc. That was before Cannabis. No, Mom. The Cannabis disc was on the record with Hey Lover and all that on there. What record is that? Mr. Smith.
Oh, the pop album?
Yeah.
All right,
but it showed up on that record.
So apparently
Mama Said Knock You Out wasn't about Cannabis?
That was before Cannabis. That was a bunch Mama Said Knock You Out probably like 93, 92, 93. The Cannabis disc was after Pac died.
So he's been in a bunch of bands, and Eagles was definitely not one of them. He's been around for a long time.
I know Eric Clapton wanted Eagles. I didn't need
music. So if you're taking advice from me on rock music,
all right, I'm going Eric Clapton. Period.
What about country?
Country, Garth Brooks. And I could have went and saw him, dude, and I took work over.
Your boy's coming down George Strait.
He performed for 4 hours straight, they said.
George Strait's coming down for the Bayou Country Fest.
Yeah, but I think Garth Brooks took it, like, he
Who's
turned
this
country to another.
Don't go too far in country with me.
He's pretty dope, bro. I'm telling you.
I gotta go, guys.
Go ahead.
Let me get up out of here.
Little dude at work said
my kids waiting on me.
He's dope, dude.
He said that.
I'm gonna listen to y'all in the car.
He said the White Boot Warrior was just as good as Upchurch.
All right. That's actually. What? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you right now. I'm gonna get. I guess can I get in the middle here? Stand up.
Look. Put the mic closer to you like this. I'm gonna get my trash.
Watch this.
I'm actually subscribed to your boy's channel, dude. I just subscribed to it because
you're gonna get kicked off though if you play it.
No, it's he flipped he flipped somebody else's beat. We're not gonna get kicked off. Right here. This he's a younger cat. He spitballs to 6'9". You know that dude with all the tats on his face that is in all kind of shit right now? Because it's fucking fire. So he liked the beat. He probably did better than your boy. He probably trapped to it. You don't like it? You don't like it?
Because he's like everybody else. He's like all the rest of those tatted up white rappers from the sticks.
Oh, you think so?
Style, the same delivery.
But here's the deal: he can sing too. He can't just. He actually can sing. Like he covered other people's music and he fucking killed it. Like so, he's talented, dog. Like if you don't like his bars, that's that. You know, it's an opinion.
I ain't feeling him.
But I mean, from in the standpoint of, he's definitely mad talented.
Like the Jelly Roll dude. Like
Jelly Roll's dope,
big,
bro.
Like I heard Haystack already. So you just doing Haystack?
Well, he's doing now. They got a new
And then
that dude. You ever heard of Struggle Jennings?
Even Lil White. Remember Lil White?
Mm-hmm.
When he was with 3-6, he was talking all that. Now he's one of these country boy rappers now, and it's like changed his whole image.
He did.
Like,
I guess he's older, you know. I mean, it's just.
I guess so, but
to evolve into.
I understand that, but if it wasn't in you before, how's it in you now? Are you just riding a bandwagon?
I don't know. You could say that about what I'm doing. I guess I'm riding a wagon.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just feel like people grow. I mean, for me, it would be different if it was the opposite. Like if all of a sudden this dude went from doing this, and then, he did country rap and then all of a sudden he was trying to be hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're talking about a guy in his early 20s, just fucking. I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't know how, like he grew, evolved, he changed. I mean, he's doing different things, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, look at what Yellow Wolf evolved. Changed, it's an evolution. I mean, that's the way I see it. Like,
G-Eazy was one of the big, like, I remember when that cat was just starting, he was going to Loyola University, and he was playing like, these little bars like the Bridge Lounge and like all these little bars, and he was like on some like acoustical guitar hip hop type shit. Totally different than what he's doing now.
Right.
Totally.
Right. He's kind of like pop, like heavy pop music now.
Yeah. Like seeing his transformation was weird. Because like I watched y'all come up. Like I went to a couple of your shows and I checked you out back in the day. I was like, just that transformation. It's weird. It's strange to see it. It's like, man, that's not what made you though.
Right. So
you turned on, like, I can't say I was a fan, but he had a following. Even back then, he had a following. Just his little college following. From going to he had a local following, and he blew up.
Where's he from?
He's from Oakland. But he claims New Orleans as his second home, I guess, because of...
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to Loyola.
So that's why he comes and plays down here in his little college. Like, he can't... I think he went and played at a college ball in Bywater not too long ago. Or he's going, or
possibly. I mean, he's big now.
Right. I didn't know that.
But like, I'm sure like a lot of his fans are probably in there.
I like his new song.
They're mid-30s by now. I'm sure that's about what his age is. So his fans in his mid-30s, they're not trying to hear all that new stuff. So they feel like they was shunned, I guess, and like man, this ain't the guy we remember. Like this ain't his music. Like,
so he lost. You think he lost a lot of?
But he gained all of that fucking mainstream money though.
But dude, his new song's dope. You heard his new song?
With the chick? The money?
No. He's got one like talking. It's like I guess it's a love song. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I'm not a G-Eazy fan. You know, like I never really did get into him.
Like I followed him because I remember going to his shows when he was just starting out, going to Loyola.
So how long ago was this?
Mid-90s, early mid-90s.
So how old do you think this dude is?
He's probably in his mid to upper 30s.
So he's my age, let's say.
Has to be. Because I was hanging out in the college scene when I got out of high school, like everybody does. I get out of high school in 91, so it was the early 90s. Mid-90s is when I started hearing about him.
He's probably older than, probably older than me.
No, because he was actually in Loyola doing shows.
I graduated.
That's how he had such a following locally, because he actually went to school with these kids and they all followed him. So he was.
I graduated in 2000, so he's older than me, unless he's fucking genius, you know.
Yeah,
but he played. He plays guitar like. So he's a musician,
right? Because
not just a lyricist.
He was playing like acoustical guitar and rapping, and shit. Like as an example would be Whitey Ford. Whatever last day that's Whitey Ford. You know how most of it was singing, but he had a few hip hop tracks that were still bluesy. It was like on that level,
right? And a lot of people, Everlast lost a lot of fans when he did that. Like the hip hop fans, he lost a lot of them guys, and I loved what he did. I thought it was.
I have all his Whitey Fords.
The blues stuff, right?
Just because sometimes I don't want to hear rap music. I want to hear some blues, but I want to hear that little hip hop edge to it.
Right. Well, that's how I am. Like, dude, that's why
I like blues music, but I can't necessarily relate to these guys from the 70s when they was doing blues.
Right.
What he's talking about, I can relate to it.
Right. And that's kind of where I came into, like there was what I'm doing now is something that I always wanted to do, you know, but it's just you don't have the assets to do it or the tools to do it or the surrounding and you know, now I do. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Like I feel more comfortable.
No, like I said, dude, I listened to it Easter Sunday when I took that ride with my family. Right. So I got a chance to listen to the whole thing.
In order, front to back.
And I probably pissed the old lady off, but I had it loud because I wanted to hear everything.
Yeah. You know? Well, that's what I did. I mean, I jammed it on the way home from the studio. But like, this is my first time.
And the first thing I did, I had to call you. When I finished listening, I called you. I was like, dude, total fucking
It works. It's going to it's going to work. It's just got to... You know, we got to get the right things going.
And that's why I've been letting a lot of people that I like, selective people hearing it. Like that one kid at work.
Yeah.
He's in his mid to early 20s. He's got the jacked up truck. He listens to hip hop.
Right.
He knew who Upchurch was, and he knows that whole hip hop thing. And he was like, "Man, this is just as good as the stuff."
Just as good. Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, and that's.
I let my cousin last night, who was a straight up hip hop head, who's come up on Kool Keith and MF Doom, like that side of the hip hop world, and he liked the content, you know.
Right.
You know.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. Is like, I want to be. I'm looking to get that, like you said, that guy liked it. This guy liked it. You know, like find a way to touch as many different.
Not even had some that said it was too country and you know.
Right. Because I don't.
But I told him, I said that's what he was going for.
Right. So, well, in a sense,
to pick up that extra crowd to say,
right.
Hey, let me see what else he's got.
Right. I could grab everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want to do. I want to grab everybody. I know there's a market for a little bit of everything, and like I told you before, people are. I think you know. One side of the table only listens to you know what I'm saying, like people on the street are not going to listen to country rap, but people from in the country are going to listen to street rap, you know what I mean? So if you can find a way to fuse both of them, you got to win. And
you know, it's weird though. It's like anything in life, like you don't appreciate shit till you're older. Like when I was coming up, it was like whatever I was into. Like I went from that
you kind of hard-headed, right,
into gangster rap. And then to the local scene. But when I was listening to that, that's all I was listening to.
Yep.
And then it didn't come until I was later in life. Even when I was DJing, it was like, I'm only DJing this.
Right. You get
now
older.
I'm like DJing every fucking
you
thing.
get older,
and I'm
you
listening
mature,
to everything.
Right, you
and I'm
grow.
appreciating more.
Absolutely. Like, dude, I look back.
I didn't want to hear like like when my dad was playing all the funk records when I was I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to hear what was on the radio because that's what I was. I was a kid, and that's all I knew.
When you go
but now,
back,
I'm like, fuck, those records were dope.
Right. Well, see, what kind of a lot of when I was a teenager, like I used to shark oysters, you know, like to make money on, you know what I'm saying, make money for the weekend. Well, I worked with a bunch of guys from the Ninth Ward, you know what I mean, and all they listened to was 98.5 soul, you know, and I'm into the 90s hip hop scene, and it's like listening to the 90s hip hop. The 90s hip hop,
what? Because the 90s hip hop scene was weird.
Well,
it had the whole New Jack Swing thing at once. Mm-hmm. It kind of took over the
the upbeat, and it's Dre. When Dre put out Nothing But a G Thing, the BPMs changed. Bro.
That was what later 90s?
Like no. And Nothing But a G Thing come out like 92.
It's like 90s hip hop to me. I'm thinking like Redhead Kingpin.
Right, but
like the upbeat, like the
like
Jack,
the,
like
right,
Running Man to it and shit.
Like Redman, time for some action. Redman, time for, you know, that upbeat, Down with the King, right? Run DMC, you know, it was just they were at like a 90, 100 BPMs. When Dre put out Nothing But a G Thing. Look at NWA, even they were still doing 100 miles and running. Look how fast, you know what I'm saying? Like how fast.
But it was a sound. Like the whole New Jack sound. It was
that. All right, so tell me that. Do you think Biggie's big first album was that a New Jack sound?
No, that's not. I'm talking like that's what I was trying to see. Like when did that New Jack era end? It was like man, what songs was hot? It was like R&B influenced.
All right,
rap.
So
it was like R&B influenced hip hop.
So Daz Effects. Like we were talking about earlier, that's
like Heavy D had some of it, and
yeah, I know what you're saying. I know exactly what.
Like
it's
Redhead Kingpin, you know,
real loud, high percussion. Like I know what you're talking about. Like, but
what was that? Like Rump Shaker was kind of a New Jack sound.
Yeah, but I think it's still that was slower though. It wasn't as fast as.
Yeah, I'd have to look up because it's like that whole New Jack sound.
So to you, was it the instruments or was it the tempo?
It was the sound.
Was it both?
It was its whole sound, like the New Jack sound. It was its own sound, and it took over hip hop for a few years, like maybe a half of, you know, like maybe the whole early I don't know.
Right, it was the early 90s because after you got to once you
drawing a blank because I've been drinking this shit and I can't think.
But once you got, like I said, when Death Row came out and put out that, when Interscope started releasing those records, that's when it really changed. The sound evolved. It changed because everybody wanted to ride, you know, everybody wanted that cruising sound.
Even Ice-T had the kind of
he was New Jack all day. I mean, New Jack City, you know, like that was his thing.
So think of that beat in New Jack City. That was like fast.
Right, it's real fast. Dude, the Tupac's records, his first shit was New Jack.
New Jack Swing is what they call it. But they say
the New Jack Swing coming at you. Remember remember that song Come Baby Come, that was New Jack. You know what I mean? That was that fast upbeat. Kid and Play was doing it. Yeah. Like they all had that. It was really fast. It was a fast break dancing, like
and kind of like R&B-ish too.
Yeah, right.
But that was like that took over hip hop for a minute.
Look, Keith Sweat, like when an R&B singer wasn't doing a slow song, you know what I'm saying? They were doing a New Jack.
Teddy Riley was the spearhead of it. So that whole Teddy Riley, you could tell it was that whole
drum
sound.
shaker, Teddy Riley.
Right.
Dude, look at some of the old Bobby Brown. Prerogative was a New Jack.
I would say it was a lot TR-808. A lot of it was drum machine based.
Well, yeah, but
But it had its place in hip hop for.
Oh, absolutely. Like dudes were rapping
that
to
sound.
that shit.
Yeah, it was something about that sound. Man,
but what I was getting at, what I was going to is like the old soul records. I never heard. I mean, I'm a teenager. I'm a young teen. All I knew was like what my parents listened to, classic rock, and what my brother's he's your age, 9 years older. So I got into hip hop when I was like 3 or 4. Like as soon as I was able to listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
Like 84, 85, 86.
So
when I was old enough to understand music, like Run DMC.
What about Mantronics? He didn't put you on the Mantronics.
I'd have to, if I heard the song, EP, yeah, like
D,
I listened to some of that. Yeah, like dude, he used to
TFO.
I never heard. I know who they are, but I don't like. When I was that young, you don't know who all the artists are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you know the music. Right. Like I used to have a mixtape.
Like, what's funny is like I was born in an era where there was no rap music didn't exist.
Right.
So when it first came out, like all my friends was listening to heavy metal and shit. Black Sabbath and all that shit. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I like it. But then I heard some rap music, bro. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Well, I think
like I put on the Mantronics and that changed my life.
I think what captured me was the bass. Like that was one of the first things I fell in love with. Was
PJ talking about Roxanne? Did you watch the thing yet?
No, I didn't see it.
Then I don't want to talk. PJ,
how
good was the end of it, and how did that not trip you out? Who that little kid wound up being at the end of it? It's crazy, bro.
Well, he told me about Nas.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he told me about Nas.
Bismarck Key just kind of saved the day, and that when they had the beef with Marley Marl, and she was like, "Man, fuck you."
See, I don't know the whole story. I gotta watch the movie.
And I'm like a Bismarck Key super fan.
But like yeah, when I was younger, like I got in because I listened to whatever he listened to. You know, you gotta you talking about a 3-year-old following around a 12-year-old. You just going
me and Decker used to walk to Acorn Records in the square every Saturday. I come home from around with my dad and I get paid and would walk there every Saturday. And the guy that worked there, I can't remember his name, man. He was a cool ass guy. But I think Gordon was his name. Cool ass fucking Jewish dude, big nose. But he would have shit cassettes, like one, you know, and I'd be like, what is that? Let me try that. So eventually he got to know my style. And he was like,
so he knew what you want, right?
So he was like, I got this. I think you're going to like it.
See, and dude, that's the kind of shit that doesn't exist anymore.
I missed that.
And that was like your guy knew what you wanted.
You knew it.
Like just
like he turned me on to MC Shy D, and like Miami bass is my thing. That's what I'm known for as a DJ. So that's like,
and
I cut my teeth on.
Yeah, like one of my
he put me on.
Was one of my when I was young, dude. I listened to that shit as like 7. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I got my radio taken from a nun on a school trip because I was playing "We Want Some Pussy" on the school bus on a field trip. And she took my tape, took the radio, everything from me.
But dude, I remember when I was I think I was about 11 years old. I got a hold. Like
Marley Marl was a legend.
I would always dig in them. Like I didn't know them. Like I wasn't involved. I wasn't aware of what was coming out. My brother was. So anytime something hot would come out, I'd always just listen to his stereo. And when he wasn't around, I'd take his records and listen to his shit.
I was
deep in and remember cassettes back in the day. People would like if you bought the new fucking whatever, you know, the new LL Cool J mixtape or a new album, and you wanted that, I want that song, then I'd come over by your house, bring a cassette, and you'd fucking copy that song from it. So people used to make mixed cassettes. Remember, we used to fucking with your favorite songs on it. And dude, I
have my old parents' old cassettes, and it would say like
you put the
Cool in the Game. It was actually like Steady B on that bitch. I copied it.
You put the tape on top of it. You stick the paper. You stick the paper inside, dude. That's the good old days.
That ain't Cool in the Game. That's Steady B on that motherfucker.
Well, and the thing about music is people don't have the same passion for it anymore because it's like
it's too accessible.
Like the new Drake song you showed me today. That should have been highly anticipated. that should have, you know what I mean? Like you should have got a snippet of it. You should have got the, you know, the flyers, catch Drake's new song. That way, when it finally does hit, everybody's lining up to listen to it. And now it's just fucking, it's just leaving. Right.
That's what brought the whole DJ culture.
The
crowd, because they want to hear what they want right then and there. And back, you know, before the internet, and you had all this music at your fingertips, you had to walk around with a CD and a Walkman. So you still appreciated music more than when you was going to buy records and tapes. Right?
Dude, I remember.
So now, like, these people, they just want to hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. And, like, a DJ ain't even allowed to fucking bring these people on a musical journey.
Right.
Like, let us take you on a journey. Trust me. You know, you're going to have fun. Enjoy yourself. You don't have to hear back your ass up every time you go out.
Right.
You don't need to hear fucking Whistle While You Twerk every time you go out.
Like, and we talked about
they want hit after hit after hit. I understand that's what gets the people dancing. But as a DJ, it takes the fun out of it. Let me take you on a musical journey.
Right.
But that's with having the whole everything instant gratification. Like, before, when you went out, you was there to go hang out with your friends. You didn't care what was being played. That was just background shit.
Yeah. And my definition,
just hang with your people. And the DJ used to break records. Now they just want you to play the hits.
Just play the
hits.
Press play. Yeah. Play the song I want to hear. And my definition of a good DJ, I told you that, is the guy that when the records come, it's like, damn.
Shout out to Richie Rich.
Dude, I ain't heard that song. That's my song. I hadn't heard that in forever. And then, you know, just keep playing a bunch of songs that I love that I hadn't heard in a long, you know, that I'm not. But
then again, see, it's a catch-22, because once you start playing all them cheesy songs you hate playing and the crowd responds, it's also another thing that makes a DJ happy. So even if you hate it, you enjoying yourself seeing other people. Because you're here to make
people smile. Like the same thing. I just fucking finished this record. The last thing I want is people to say they don't like it. You know what I mean? But you
gotta listen with an open mind. Just want to be entertained.
Yeah.
If you come in with a closed mind and be like, all right, what is this? Some rap music? Okay. Well, I like Boosie. So if this ain't like Boosie, I ain't even gonna like it.
You ain't gonna listen.
So you gotta come in with an open mind, unless
not everybody has an open mind and are able to listen to a selective amount of music. And like for instance, I could show you right now, like
DJ Richie Rich in the house. What's up, Rich?
I respect lots of different music, and I can show you. I'll break down my Pandora list, and this is how you'll see.
My shit's crazy on my phone with the shit I got.
Look, I'm gonna show you. So, for instance, my shuffle, Crazy Bone, The War Is On came on, but Blues Barbecue Radio. Then I got Rage Against the Machine Radio. Then the Dirty Heads Radio. Then Lee Brice Radio.
Dr. John and the Meters are in my top playlist all the time.
That's the blues music.
I love some Dr. John and the Meters, dude, man.
Blues music it
moves you. Like, you can feel the emotion in that shit.
And the effort and the work that they put in and the guitar solos. And,
fucking talent.
But then I got Bone, and I got some comedy, Dave Chappelle, Fats Domino, underground hip hop, blues guitar legends, Red and Method Man, Exhibit. The 90s were great. Let's have a festival. That's like the alternative. It's a lot of alternative shit. Slang, underground rap.
I got everything from comedy. Keith Sweat to
reggae.
Africa Bambaataa on my shit, man. Like, my list goes.
It's all over the place.
Because I'm never in the same thought every day. Like, what I'm hearing today, I might not even like tomorrow. I'm gonna hear something else.
You know? Exactly. And I put it on a shuffle, you know, and then, dude, it's like you'll get.
You know what my shuffle was coming up in the day?
And then you get Eric Clapton.
I had a duffel bag full of cassette tapes, not even in the cases anymore. It was just cassette tapes in the bag. And that was my shuffle. I reach in, whatever I grab, put it in the tape. That's what I listen to.
That's it. Well, dude, I was the same way you were. Like, remember, like you said, the release date for every new music came out every Tuesday. Remember Tuesday? Tuesday was the day. Like, they put new music out. I don't know why they picked Tuesday, but Tuesday was the day. You know, so like I would
maybe to build anticipation to that payday,
right? But it's fuck. That's on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday.
Back then it was like fuck. I need to hear this, and that's the only way you're gonna hear it. Well, dude, go buy it.
I would take
if you know it's out and it's out for 4 days. You're gonna go buy that.
Oh, absolutely. So that's what like every pay. Like I said, when I was a teenager, I used to shuck oysters, and on the weekend, I would take my money and go buy a new record. I had fucking stacks of cassettes, dude. And dug in.
Even when I wasn't DJing, like eventually it just come to the point where I had to go to the record stores by myself. Because even when I wasn't DJing, I was sitting in that bitch for hours selecting what I want.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't even. I just went off of the label, who they're affiliated with, that type of shit. And
right.
There's many CDs I popped in, threw right out the window. This is garbage. Fuck that. You know. Plenty times got burned. Well, dude, I think I found some gems. Like, oh fuck! Yeah. And I followed that whole clique and found a shitload of good music.
Well, I think
that I would have never heard without taking that chance.
There was in the mid to late 90s when like the local rap scene was big. There was a lot of like really garbage fucking local rap that came out that people were making money off of. Though.
Was it garbage or was it badly produced?
It could have been
a sound, you know, you could hear the hissing in it.
Yeah. But I mean, and these dudes were making money, you know.
But if it sounded good, you probably would have liked it a little more.
Well, probably. But see,
because I know that was another thing. Like if I heard a hissing in somebody's recording, you heard that a lot on some old
local stuff.
Local tapes. Right. And it was shit.
Because they recorded
just the quality of it alone. It's like, man, fuck, I don't even want to listen to it.
But when I was young, like, I don't know. It's different from me because I understood it. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew what it would. I can listen to a song that was recorded in a box and know it's hot. You know, like but your average listener can't, and that's why you have to go to a major studio if you want to get this shit done right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like because me and you gonna like it, but the guy that don't understand unless it sticks and sounds clear in his car.
That's why I always love DJing more to an older crowd because they're more open to hearing anything.
Well, right. They do a lot of their hottest stuff was fizz, you know.
And plus some you know, you can work the new stuff in and you can get, you know, work the old stuff in.
Listen to some of them old 50s, 60s, like the 50s swing.
I'm not talking about that old now.
Dude, there's some good shit.
I like the DJ from my age era.
But there's some good shit that came out back in the day, like really talented people. And you can hear the fizzing and just the recording, you know, itself. It just, man, there's a lot of good like, music out there.
For instance, Most Wanted Posse. Like, that was horrible.
Was it West Bank thing?
Yeah, it was recorded horrible, but it was actually, it was good. Now, I didn't like that because they talked some shit about my boy Ice Mike in that West Bank thing.
Right, they were shitting on them.
But the rest of that shit was good. And it was spitting.
Yeah, I mean, they put out a good.
It was just produced and recorded horribly.
Well, dude, I think the Graveyard Soldiers album. You listen, it's a fucking fire album, but you go back and listen to it and you realize that was recorded horribly.
It was.
Do you remember South Morning?
Yeah, I still have a copy of it.
I used to love that.
I have it.
I used to love that album. I don't have it anymore. You can probably get it on YouTube now.
I have it. I'll burn it.
Yeah, I have to check that out. I'll listen to it again. But they produced
the only track I didn't like was that Woo-Ha track.
Is that the one with Miss T on it? Was it Miss T on it or was it Lady? No, it was Miss T that was on it.
I think so.
Talking about sipping daiquiris or whatever.
That's the Summertime. Summertime. No, that's the same track. Yeah, that's what I didn't like.
I think that. Yeah.
That part, if they would have left that out, it would have been a good record, man.
That it was a good album.
It was good. The whole
they produced. From what I understand, they the ones who produced the Graveyard Soldiers. I don't.
You know.
That's why they said we couldn't do it or whatever. Like they, you know.
There was remember Mr. Will was featured on one of the Graveyard Soldiers tracks.
Dude, it's been a minute. I have to check that out.
And man, I searched forever trying to find it, and I found it, Mr. Will. It was I'm not that name.
Right.
And that was the name. And I found it. I'm like, damn, that was the same Mr. Will. And it was like he was cool on that one track. And then when I bought his solo shit, I was like, a couple of tracks was good, but most of it was poop. I was like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, he put a good.
I was so hyped to fucking hear his shit, and it took me years. And
right, because he nailed the verse on that. Like,
well, it took me like 20 years later to find it. And I overpaid for it on eBay, and I was pissed. I was like, man, fuck.
Gee,
but I might be one of 30 people that might have that record in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's worth anything, but it's worth more to you, right? It's hard to get stuff.
It's hard to find shit, and you can find it, you gotta overpay.
Dude, I think what's like those old Big Boy records should be re-released. Like you should be remastered, re-released. I think they can touch anybody's mainstream mastered production. To me, like in my opinion, you go back and listen to Fours, Deuces, and Trees, and tell me how hard it sticks and how clear it sounds. Dude, that cassette tapes was
Slim was straight about it, like everything. He was like a 4-tree.
Yeah, he was a Crip, right?
Crip, whatever that shit is.
But you're listening to Precise interview with what's her name, Terry T or whatever. He talks about him, like, how he moved to California and he had family out there and he moved back, and that's how he got involved with the Crips. And, it just fit at that time, West Coast rap.
And when it was like nothing else that was around here.
No, not at all.
Just West Coast G shit. Like, what the fuck is
this?
But he's telling these streets, you're like, I know where that's at. I know where that's at. I know that house. I've been down that road.
But dude, if you listen to his delivery, his lyrics, they were really up to par. Like he was better than.
So was Black Menace out by the time G Slim was out?
I think they put one out, but it
because
wasn't
they were similar in style. I think.
Well, right. Well, and this is
because Black Menace didn't really fit the New Orleans sound.
There was a Black Menace album that came out like early Big Boy. That was probably like Menace, in the backyard. I love Black Menace. Like Backyard Out the Trunk records, because like Sice said, it took them 3 years to get to that level to where they were, biggest thing in the city. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So they did put out a couple, like PNC's first album. Remember PNC's first album? It was only like 8 songs or whatever. And Black Menace came out around the same time, but PNC's took off because of the bounce thing. So they were the biggest thing on the Big
where was G Slim at it?
G Slim was the first, like when they finally got some cake. If you think about the cut, like the money, you can tell like they spent a lot of money on the production in the.
He was just in a 6'4" and a flannel,
right? But it was a that pen and pixel, album cover. That was the first. They were the first ones to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
was Pen and Pixel local?
I don't know. They had to be.
They got this cat that I mess with on Facebook. He's from I want to say he's from Germany, or maybe I think he's from Germany, dude. But like, he's like Pen and Pixel everything. Like, he's got
no shit.
Yeah, dude. He sent me music that I couldn't get here locally. He sent it because he's got it.
Well, that 2 things sold me on the G. Like, I didn't ever heard G Slim before, but I bought his record. 2 things sold me on it: Big Boy, PNC. I knew when I'm at the store. I'm a teenager. I'm looking for something to buy. 2 things sold me on it: the fact that I knew Big Boy and PNC was connected, and I heard PNC's album, and the cover was just like, ridiculously dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I think that's still to this day, that's the dopest, like, poster ever. Local ever, in my opinion. And then when I heard the record, it's like, dude, that shit's for real. I'm like he's really, really good. I thought he was slept on. Honestly, I thought he was slept on because a lot of people didn't pick up on him down here. Like I
was on the radio and shit down here.
Yeah, it was on like Friday night. Like he didn't get the spins he didn't get like the hot 8 at 8 spins. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't get that.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Pretty sure it's regular rotation.
Telling you, he didn't get it, and he died before he could really peak because he came out
smoking on that fire,
right? Really, but it didn't get. I'm telling you, it didn't get that.
With my home.
That song was hot, bro.
I can remember that.
And that was your first time really getting here Mystical on the Back on My Block. That's how we do it when we kick it back on my block. Nobody knew who Mystical was. You know what I'm saying? Like then After that, then they put PNC3 out.
What's up, Eddie? Shout out to my cuz.
Oh, what's happening? Oh, that's your cuz? I didn't know Eddie was your cuz.
Yeah.
And nobody can fuck with No Limit's album cases, he said.
That was all.
Well, that was Pen and Pixel.
Yeah.
They got that from Big Boy. They kind of, followed that.
So was
trend.
Ice Cream Man Pen and Pixel? Because it didn't have that bling.
No, I don't know if they had. Ice Cream Man was Big Boy was still out when Ice Cream Man came out. He still had the West Coast thing kind of.
I think Ice Cream Man was his best album.
I think so too.
Personally,
I think so too.
Like he had some good singles after that, but as far as a whole album,
right.
And maybe his second one, his follow up, was because it was a little more local. Because that Ice Cream Man was talking a lot of California shit.
That's what I'm saying.
The second one, he came home and brought
South,
it back,
but it had a lot of Cali sound still to it. And that's what I thought was so good about it, is that it was diverse. Like when No Limit. I mean, not No Limit.
I can remember when Q93. What they had what was it? Smash It or what was it?
I know what you're talking about.
Smash or Trash It
or something like that.
Something like
right.
that. And
they would play a song.
And you call in, and if they liked it,
and
if
the votes,
was Mr. Ice Cream Man.
Right.
I remember hearing that shit like, wow.
Oh, they had to love that, dude. Oh, I love the Ice Cream. The video was dope. Like, you ever saw the video?
Because actually, didn't it get released on something else, and then it got so popular he re-released it, and that was his debut album? Was Ice Cream Man?
I think he just put it. But this is the thing.
Or maybe it was on an independent label and it got.
He was already had the priority deal and all. Did you hear the story about how he got the priority deal? He did
intermission.
I
need an intermission.
You need an intermission. Yeah, me too. Yeah. But what he did was he bought. I'm gonna tell you real quick. They wasn't selling a lot of
Slamming or Jamming.
That's it. Slamming or Jamming. He wasn't selling a lot of records. So what you needed you needed to go to these big labels and show ASCAP that you show, look, here's my numbers. You know what I'm saying? Look what I'm selling. He bought his own shit. Like he put it out in stores, turned around, bought it all, and gave it out. Yeah. So his numbers look fucking. And
there's
he
a lot
resold
of good
it out
shit
the trunk.
that happened with No Limit, and there's a lot of shady shit that happened.
We don't know the story,
But I've heard the interview,
right,
so I can only go off of that.
Right. Them dudes were working their ass off.
But the whole way KLC got brought in, and then how he kind of got drugged down.
Yeah, well, he should have he carried.
If it wasn't for Servon, they wouldn't even had him.
Right. And
Servon's like, I'm not coming to California without
him. Right. And Beats by the Pound
produced everything.
Carried that.
And that was Moby Dick and
Well, Moby Dick said how much music, like he tried to put it in perspective. How much music came out in 98? Like how many albums? Felt like one every week.
A lot.
So just think of, and how many songs they had on there? 20. Think about how much music that was. Like we never left. You know what I'm saying? Like we slept in the studio. Think about the work that went in. Yeah, go ahead. Think about the work that went into that. He had to take a brief intermission. And I thank you guys for joining. But like we told y'all before, go ahead while I got you here. And I'm talking to both of your mics. Go ahead and check out the new commercial, Higgnz Brackish EP coming out soon. Go check out my commercial for White Boot Warrior. I'm taking it. I've messed with everybody. It's Data Road 2018. Go ahead and check it out. I'm going to share it after this podcast is done. I want you guys to peep it out. I hope you like it. And we got a whole lot of big things coming soon, working behind the scenes. And I'm proud that you guys actually been following us on the podcast. We're getting a lot of comments. Everywhere we go, people are knowing we're doing it. And it's been nothing but love and appreciation. And I got nothing but gratitude for you guys for doing that. And I appreciate that because like we out here hanging, but you know, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So every time we get some love, if just one person shows us love, that means the world to what we do. Because, you know, there's only 24 hours a day, and we're spending a lot of time working on our passion. And when people are passionate about our passion, well, you're obviously going to get a better result. And Mr. Technics over here. So the Drake song, what you think? What happened? What you think about it?
When I first heard it, I thought it was a remix. I found out it was an original, and then I looked deeper into it, and then I started seeing the buzz on Facebook amongst local legends. I'm not just talking about no average. I'm talking about pillars in the community that started hip-hop here and how they behind it. So I looked at it in a different view, and I see some haters on there talking about he's riding it.
Bro. You can't hate on it. Just because he's going
to... The only gripe I have with it, he said this some Louisiana shit. I wish he would have said this some New Orleans shit. Because not all Louisiana was on that.
Right. But here's my deal about it. All right.
I mean, it's a good song. I'm not a huge Drake fan. I respect what he did. I like that he did it. You know,
he's gonna cash in.
Work with some local producers with it. So,
well, think about this. He's gonna cash in on a New Orleans sound. We correct about that. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make it something that he had nothing to do with. But he's also, he's also a trailblazer for this, and that's why everybody, like behind the scenes that make this style of music that actually produce this are like, hell yeah, do that, because people, the phones are gonna start ringing. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that is.
And I mean, you gotta give a little something to Big Frida, because without without her, a lot of like bounce music took off in Philly because of her.
Right, with her getting
it was huge in these northern states for a minute, man. It was huge. It's huge.
They it looked like New Orleans Saturday night in some of those clubs.
Yeah,
and I think
that wasn't, and by that time I was bitter because I come up and I was a huge bounce fan, and I kind of started DJing spinning bounce music, so I came up with it, and it was my thing. I fucking I cut my teeth on those records and shit, and I respected the Sporty Tees and the Bally Boys and all these little local records I was getting, the bounce music that these dudes was writing to.
Right.
It wasn't just a call and response. They was writing to this shit.
Well, that's what I like. That's the bounce I'm ready to hear. And that's why I like it. It's got the bounce sound, but he's actually right. It's ball.
And since we're talking about bounce, we got to give a huge rest in peace and huge shout out to Cameron Paul, because without his brown beats, bounce music wouldn't be what it is today.
And people, like I said, people don't see that. They don't know the innovators, They just know the hit records. Yeah. They don't know what it took to get it there. I mean, it's the grassroots movement makes it what it is. And if it wasn't for that movement, then Drake wouldn't have.
There was a few people that tried it. Like there was a cat from Baton Rouge that did the "Give Me What You Got" for a Poke Chop. You remember that?
Yeah,
that FM guy, FM
right.
or something.
Yeah,
guy.
I remember that. My name
didn't really work. I think there was somebody from Memphis might have tried it, but it was like if you wasn't from New Orleans, making bounce like.
Well, dude, honestly, now that I go back on this, Drake wasn't the first one to do this. T.I. did it a few years ago.
T.I. did it, but with Lil Wayne, right?
Wayne was featured on it, but it was T.I.'s song and his idea. He had the Trigger Mans. Honestly, hearing both of them, T.I.'s song is better, in my opinion. But I think Drake did a good job, and it like PJ said, it reminded him of Club 93. Mm-hmm. You listen to the end of that song, and it sounds like a new song's about to come on. You know what I'm saying? Like waiting for the next track. Like it sounds like a DJ is spinning. Yeah. And that's
now I don't know if it was on that track, but I've seen that he's been working with Monster. Now we didn't establish if that was Monster with a fade, or if there's another Monster.
It's got to be out who produced it.
And Weeby. Now in the post it didn't say Fitwell Weeby, but I assume that's Fitwell Weeby.
Yeah, he probably if he's going on.
So here's my thing. The end of that track is pretty old school. The beginning of it is kind of that new school with Monster. Well, Weeby's from that old school, so maybe they did collab on that track.
Well, yeah.
And you can hear the influence in it because the end of it sounds like a whole different.
So Weeby was making his beat. Weeby made his beats.
I don't know. I'm just going off of what I was reading from some well-respected and some people that know that shit.
Well, Weeby's another artist that actually produced his own. Like, actually, he wrote.
That was one of the funnest concerts I ever did, bro.
What, a Fifth Ward Weeby concert?
It was a trip.
Well, he actually.
And he's funny. Even after the show, he had us laughing, bro. It was a trip.
Well, he was one of the guys that actually, you know, he wrote songs to his bounce. It wasn't just, you know, that, like you said, hot boy rock, hot boy, you know, yeah, right.
The call and response.
Yeah, and
which was the first, I mean, you know.
Right. That's the grassroots sound. But
he wasn't saying shit.
And we could go back to that. Like, the women, like, I listen to it because the women listen to it. Now, if I'm in the car, no, I'm not putting, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not searching for Hot Boy Round or any of that.
Not Hot Boy Round.
You know, that's just not my, that's not my bounce. You know what I mean?
No. But I will go back to some old bounce, you know, some Hitman, some Pimp Daddy and shit like that.
Pimp Daddy is a little different. Like, even TT Tucker is a call and response sound, you know.
Get the Gat call and response.
Yeah. But
Lil Elk did come back and write to it, I think, right? Would Get the Gat 2000 or something, maybe.
I hear it. Never heard it. I had to check it. But Sporty T, I think,
that's one of my favorites, bro.
I think he was one of the guys.
And I actually have a Sporty T CD that was a misprint, and it's not the actual CD. It's a Sporty T CD, but it's not.
It doesn't say.
It's a different CD. Yeah.
So like it's Sporty T on the cover, and then when you put it in, it's somebody else's shit.
No, it was a Sporty T album, but it was a different album.
It's the wrong album.
Yep.
You might have the only copy. You might have the only copy of that shit.
I'm telling you, bro, it was a trip.
But that Sporty T, like it was just. I thought he didn't have.
That might be a little biased because he was working for my uncle.
No. He
was the one with him for a little bit.
I think he showed. Like, to me, I think he evolved, like, the singing, you know, like, he was the first one to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like King, you know, like.
PNC was harmonizing it, too.
Right. But who did it first? Was it Sporty or was it?
Well, Sporty T was on the very first hip-hop record ever put out in New Orleans.
Yeah, but it was he just spitting?
It was Sporty T, Gregory D, and DJ Baby T. It was the Ninja Crew. We Destroy. That was the first record. It wasn't about shit. It was a sample of Whistles bugging. That if you know that song, bug.
Oh yeah.
It's that beat to that song.
No shit. Mm-hmm. And they just flipped, like they took the instrumental and made their own.
Well, they chopped it up and did it.
Right.
Yeah. And that was the very first record. So Sporty T's been down in this thing since day one in the city.
And he doesn't get the same love, you know.
Well, I think he was, and then everybody was so set on Cash Money. He come out with the Wet Boys,
just
straight up dissing.
Well, right, because it was,
you ain't a soldier.
Right, it was one
Put
of those
down your soldier rag.
One of those things where it's a make or break thing for you, and that was at the end of Big Boy.
Maybe he knew all these cats from growing up. He's like,
well, he did. And the thing is that he was at the end of his run. Like I'm not him. Big Boy was at the end of that run when that album came out. I think that was right after Soldier Rags. That was when J-Dog's solo stuff was coming out. Like that was right before
Last Call for Bounce
Chuck
was
got busted
in '93. I want to say.
Yeah, that was the first album.
So because that was Last Call for Bounce. Like he had put out a bunch of Bounce records since then.
Yeah,
we'll look them up.
But he that Put Down Your Soldier Rag album
was put out after 400 Degrees.
No, it was before. It was after Soldier Rags. After
that was 400 Degrees.
No,
that was Soldier Rag. Right.
After Soldier Rags, it was all local shit. In the local, look up his discography. But that was at the end of Big Boy's run. I'm telling you, that was when they would start. PNC, I think, was actually signed with when they did their own thing. When they did the South Coast, remember the South Coast thing?
Oh
yeah. Remember when they were with Trey 8 and they had South Coast Records? They moved on to a different label.
So, what? Okay, yeah, I was off on those dates. I was way off on those dates. Good Lord. He put out a lot of shit. Okay, it was Sporty Talking Sporty put out 93. Pat, you need to be here, Pat. We're missing our fact checker. You got me over here on the spot. By the way, y'all, today's our sponsor was B&B Artichokes and Breads. Y'all can look them up on Facebook. Excellent quality food, man. Y'all ain't gonna look them up. Well, we got 2 people watching right now. Paul's going to be back shortly. Now we got 1. I'm losing him, Paul. He's coming. Shout out to that 1 person that's watching. I don't know who it is. That's probably Patrick right now. Watching from the road. You need to be driving, not watching Facebook, dude. That's how accidents happen. But we're going to give y'all a quick rundown on the whole New Orleans history of hip-hop right quick and who it started with.
You feel lonely.
All right. So like I was saying before, the Ninja Crew was Gregory D, Sporty T, and Baby T. 1996.
And you can Google that.
1996, right? Sporty Talking Sporty was the one. I was thinking the Last Call for Bounce. That was way later, right? So, okay. So from 86... Sporty T dropped the first record that got pressed on vinyl and released from New Orleans.
That's
kind of went away for a little while. 93 is next release. 95.
That's like Boogie Down production.
97. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go.
Right there. That's the one. I'm telling you, that was at the end of their run.
No, 2002.
Oh, when did he pass?
2002, brand new day.
When did he pass?
It had to be sometime after 2002.
No shit.
So from 86
See,
to
I didn't hear that.
2002,
I thought that was his last album.
Sporty T was involved in this whole scene down here.
What I did hear was that guy. Remember the video?
That Chromed Out was a really good one. The Street Soldier, the Saga Continue was the one with the that chant in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Scored it in the Magnolia, rocked it in the St. Thomas. Something Ship Tango, and now I'm out on parole.
Remember when they made? Did you ever see the video to "You Ain't No Soldier"? Put down your soldier rag.
But it's not mentioned enough. That's what we gotta look up.
I'm saying, do you remember that video?
Yeah,
you ever seen
they
it?
had the little toy.
The dude that played Juvenile, like the guy that played Juvenile, and he was run. Well, he ended up getting murdered. Somebody, after that video.
Really? Yeah. Right, here we go. The Wet Boys come out in 1998 and put out 3 records. 1998, 2000, and 2001.
That was right. Remember, think about
they did a track with Nate Dogg and Tupac.
No shit.
Fuck,
that's probably
me and my homies.
That's probably, what year is that?
2000. Knockout Entertainment.
Yeah, they probably like chopped that up. You think? I don't know. Listen to it. Can you hear it?
It was only on vinyl.
Think somebody's
so that. Yeah, it was a promo,
right?
Because it was just Nate Dogg and Tupac.
Probably a Pac and yeah.
You heard that one? Me and my homies.
No,
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, I ain't heard that one.
I like Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg, shit. He was the guy who innovated hooks for all, singing, incorporating hooks in the hip hop, like. But well, Patrick Riley shared my video. Well, you want to wrap this up, bro?
It's up to you, man.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We did 2 hours, so you guys, thanks for following. Like I said, peep close for the video coming out soon, and it's gonna happen for you. And don't worry, check out the commercial. Higgnz, Brackish, White Boot Warrior commercial. like I said, video coming soon. I'm excited about it, and everybody that heard it's excited too, and they're excited for me. And
I don't like it. I'm telling you, I don't like it. I listened to it a few times,
back.
And I've let a few people listen to it.
Right.
I got good feedback and bad feedback, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah. He won't tell me about the bad stuff.
I told you about the bad.
Yeah,
Dude said sound too commercial country.
Right. Hey, it's okay with that. All right. It's all right. I'm good with that.
That's
I'm
what
good
you was
with
looking
that.
for.
Right.
So actually,
That's
that was
the
mission accomplished.
yeah.
In a way.
Yep. Mission accomplished. You're right.
Yeah.
So y'all take it easy, and we will see you guys next weekend.
Peace.
All right. In video. Okay, ending. All right, we got a little freeze frame. That's all. It stopped spinning. There it is. Yes, end. Again, we just got a little freeze with the